class, and welcome to week 3 of ECS 116, Teaching in a Diverse Society. So this week we're going to be starting Module 2, and that will run for 2 weeks. So I also wanted to show you as part of the video how to close off Module 1. So what happens when you log in right now is you may see all of Module 1 showing, and if you want to shrink that or minimize it, you can click on this downward arrow, and then you can see that it goes right to Module 2. So if you're still working in Module 1, of course, keep it open. I know for me, I don't like to have all those things in my frame on my monitor, so I like to close them. So here's Module 2. So we're going to go through what you need to know to get through week 3. So Module 2 objectives are, once we complete it, I would expect that you could identify ways ethnicity and culture influence people's attitudes about themselves and others. We'll also be exploring contributions from your own cultural ethnic group as well as other cultural ethnic groups in our diverse society. Identifying key ideas about diversity and multicultural education as it pertains to young children, and identifying an inclusive language vocabulary. So the last objective for the 2 weeks is identifying and analyzing your personal cultural influences, and we're going to connect that to Uri Bronfenbrenner's bioecological theory. So moving into the next aspect of the module, you have the instructions. So over week 3, well actually let me just go ahead and state that Module 2 is open from the 5th of February through the 18th. That week 3, all those items are going to be due by Sunday, February 11th. And please note that posting in your discussion boards, that actually is due by Thursday. So that's a 2-part process. Thursday at midnight, logging back in, responding to classmates by Sunday the 11th at midnight. So we're going to go ahead and read the introduction in chapter 2 in your DECE book. That's the small yellow book. And just note that the small yellow book is generally used in your big discussion board for the whole class, and then the Roots and Wings textbook is used when we do these small diversity groups. So in the module, I also have the NAEYC position statement on culture and linguistic diversity, and NAEYC stands for the National Association for the Education of Young Children. That's our professional organization in early childhood. I also want you to tour the National Association for Multicultural Education, or otherwise known as NAME website. And then also I have a Roots and Wings multicultural checklist that you can use to apply to classroom settings and determine what is their level of implementation in terms of multicultural support. So your discussion board, your assignment, is on multicultural and anti-biased education with the parents and the community. So remember, you have to log in by Thursday, February 8th, and post in response to my prompt. Please make sure you're including course content and using citation. Then you will log back in before Sunday at midnight and respond to 2 to 3 classmates. And that again is February 11th at midnight. So I am introducing our first assignment, which is a cultural pizza, not the kind that you eat, but it is based on that kind of a, what I want to say, symbol. So that assignment will be due by midnight on Sunday, February 18th. So you're welcome to start working on that. Let's go ahead and go to the next part of our module. So here's your required reading. So remember that the DECE book would be for week 3, and that's chapter 2. And then when you get into week 4, we'll be reading chapters 5 and 7 in the York, and it's actually the new revised version. So I believe it's 2015 or 2016 year, so I can update that. Here is the position statement on cultural and linguistic diversity, and then also I have some information on Uri Bronfenbrenner for you there. So when you see this particular error come up where it seems like it might not be working, you can just double click here on the National Association for Multicultural Education. So once you click on that, the website should load. Here you go. And then I have to figure out how to get out of here. I'm still kind of learning this myself because see, I've got this thing up here. There we go. And then we have the cultural diversity and early childhood theories for research. So this is more information on Uri Bronfenbrenner's model for you to review for your discussion board. And continuing, here's the checklist that we discussed. So you can see that the checklist addresses different interest areas in a classroom setting. You can use this with classrooms I would say birth up until 4th grade. More likely used up through 1st grade. So it tells, actually, let me identify this. So it actually tells whether it's just an inappropriate setting in terms of its diversity, it's an adequate, minimal effort, promising effort, solid attempt, and then excellent attempt. So very important document there to be aware of when we talk about multicultural education. So here's information about the ecological systems theory, which if you've taken 101, we did cover Uri Bronfenbrenner there. So that might be a review for some folks. Some folks, it might be completely new information. Here's a video for you to read about Mr. Bronfenbrenner and his contributions. And then here's your discussion board. So once you review all the information that I provided, know that this discussion board will open, and it will not open until February 4th at 10:30 a.m. And that's again where you would post and respond to your assignments. So if you have any questions regarding this week's activities or the class in general, please don't hesitate to contact me. Best way to reach me is tropke@hancockcollege.edu, and I will talk to you soon. Have a great